The farm sat on the outskirts of a small, forgotten town, surrounded by endless fields of corn that rustled in the chilly wind. Nicholas, a weary man seeking solace from the chaos of city life, had inherited the farm from his late uncle. As he arrived, the sun dipped below the horizon, casting long shadows that seemed to dance among the crops. Nicholas soon discovered that the farm held more than the promise of a quiet life. Whispers circulated in the town about the land's dark history, tales of previous owners who mysteriously vanished or went mad. Despite the warnings, Nicholas was determined to breathe life back into the neglected fields. On the first night, as Nicholas settled into the creaky farmhouse, he heard strange noises echoing through the halls. Murmurs of the wind, he convinced himself. But when he ventured outside, he glimpsed faint figures moving in the distance, shadows among the corn. Days turned into weeks, and Nicholas immersed himself in the demanding routine of farm life. Yet, a growing unease gnawed at him. Each night, the shadows seemed to draw closer, whispering secrets that sent shivers down his spine. Whispers that spoke of ancient pacts and the toll of the harvest. One evening, as the sun dipped below the horizon, Nicholas ventured deep into the fields, guided by an inexplicable compulsion. The air grew thick with tension as he stumbled upon a long-forgotten cellar door hidden beneath the swaying crops. Hesitant but compelled, Nicholas opened the door, revealing a staircase leading into darkness. The cold, damp air clung to him as he descended into the subterranean depths, where a dim light flickered, casting eerie silhouettes on the walls. In the flickering light, Nicholas discovered an old journal, its pages filled with the desperate scribbles of previous owners. They spoke of a malevolent force that demanded a sacrifice each harvest, a pact to ensure prosperity. The realization struck him like a cold wind. The farm's prosperity came at a sinister cost. As Nicholas closed the journal, he felt a presence behind him. Turning slowly, he saw shadowy figures emerging from the darkness, their eyes reflecting a haunting glow. The whispers intensified, urging him to fulfill the unholy pact or face the consequences. Fear clung to Nicholas as the shadowy figures encircled him in the cellar's dim light. Their whispered voices grew louder, echoing tales of sacrifices and the inescapable fate that awaited those who defied the ancient pact. Panicked, Nicholas stumbled backward, only to find the cellar door slammed shut behind him. Trapped in the suffocating darkness, he could feel the weight of their collective gaze upon him. The figures began to chant in a language that seemed to pierce through his very soul. Driven by an instinctive fear, Nicholas made a desperate decision. He reached into his pocket, retrieving a small knife, and with trembling hands, he etched a mark on his palm. The whispers hushed as he offered his own blood, a desperate attempt to appease the malevolent force. The figures, satisfied by the unexpected offering, retreated into the shadows. The cellar door slowly creaked open, allowing Nicholas to escape the oppressive darkness. He stumbled out, weak and disoriented, but a newfound understanding gnawed at him. The farm's prosperity was intricately entwined with a blood oath, a cycle of sacrifice to sustain its unholy fertility. As Nicholas emerged from the cellar, he found the farm eerily quiet. The wind whispered through the cornfields, carrying a chilling reminder of the pact he had unknowingly sealed. The weight of the revelation pressed heavily on him, but the allure of the land's potential prosperity kept him tethered. Days turned into weeks once more, but the unsettling peace that followed the ritual lingered in the air. The shadows continued to watch, a constant reminder of the cost Nicholas had paid. The townsfolk, ignorant to the sinister secrets, continued with their lives, unaware of the unholy bargain that sustained their livelihoods. Nicholas, now a reluctant steward of the farm, found himself caught in a web of shadows and deceit. The nights were haunted by the ghostly whispers, a constant reminder of the sacrifice that kept the land fertile. As the harvest season approached, the pressure intensified, and the shadows grew restless. In the waning moonlight, Nicholas ventured once more into the fields, driven by a sense of duty and dread. He carried the weight of the blood pact like a burden, knowing that each crop reaped would be tainted by the shadows that lurked in the periphery. The harvest night arrived, and as Nicholas toiled in the fields, a chilling wind carried the echoes of distant whispers. The shadows, hungry for their due, circled around him, their forms elongated in the pale moonlight. With each crop gathered, Nicholas could feel the weight of the sacrifice settling on his shoulders. As the last sheaf of corn was collected, the shadows converged, their presence suffocating. Nicholas, weakened by the toll of the ritual, sank to his knees. The whispers crescendoed, enveloping him in a sinister symphony. In that moment of despair, a voice rose above the others, a spectral figure separating from the shadows. It spoke with a hollow resonance, thanking Nicholas for his compliance and warning that the harvest hunger would never be sated. The shadows dissipated, leaving Nicholas alone in the desolate field. The following morning, as the first light painted the horizon, the town awoke to find the farm's fields bursting with an unprecedented abundance. The townsfolk rejoiced, ignorant of the price paid for their prosperity. Nicholas, worn and haunted, gazed upon the bountiful harvest, knowing that the shadows would forever claim their due. Haunted by the pact he unwittingly embraced, Nicholas remained tethered to the farm, a reluctant guardian of a harvest of shadows. The fields thrived, but the land bore the scars of a malevolent agreement, a darkness that lurked beneath the surface, waiting for the next unwary soul to embrace its cursed legacy. And so, the farm stood as a testament to the intricate dance between shadows and sacrifice, a cycle destined to repeat until the very soul of the land was consumed by the insatiable hunger of the harvest shadows. The sun dipped below the horizon, casting long shadows across the vast farmland that stretched out as far as the eye could see. Kerry had inherited the family farm after the sudden death of his parents, and he felt the weight of responsibility on his shoulders. The once thriving farm now seemed desolate, with fields that whispered tales of neglect and decay. Kerry struggled to keep the farm afloat. The soil, once fertile, now yielded meager crops. Strange occurrences began to unfold on the property. Odd sounds echoed through the rustling leaves, and shadows danced in the moonlight, causing unease. One chilly evening, Kerry ventured into the barn, where the air felt heavy with the scent of hay and damp wood. As he inspected the tools, a creak echoed through the empty space. He turned, half expecting to see someone behind him, but the barn was deserted. Goosebumps pricked at his skin as he felt an unseen presence watching him. Days turned into weeks, and the unsettling events intensified. Kerry found peculiar symbols etched into the walls of the barn, symbols he couldn't decipher. The livestock acted strangely, as if they, too, sensed something amiss. Sleep became a distant memory for Kerry, haunted by nightmares that blurred the line between reality and terror. One night, as Kerry patrolled the farm, he glimpsed a shadowy figure moving among the fields. Heart-pounding, he gave chase, but the figure vanished into thin air. A chill ran down his spine as he realized the figure had led him to a long-forgotten graveyard tucked away behind the barn, hidden beneath the overgrown weeds. The gravestones were weathered, names barely legible, but one caught Kerry's attention: a distant relative named Ezekiel, who, according to family lore, had dabbled in forbidden rituals. The pieces of the puzzle started falling into place, painting a grim picture of a dark history that had long remained buried. Haunted by the revelations, Kerry delved into the farm's archives, discovering journal entries detailing strange occurrences and rituals performed by Ezekiel. Fear gnawed at him as he realized the farm was cursed, a legacy of dark practices that now sought retribution. In his quest to unravel the curse, Kerry found a tattered grimoire hidden within the depths of the farmhouse. The pages were filled with cryptic instructions, a sinister guide to appease the vengeful spirits that roamed the farm. Determined to break the chains of the past, he embarked on a journey through ancient rites and forbidden rituals. As Kerry conducted the rituals, the farm seemed to come alive with an otherworldly energy. Unearthly whispers echoed through the night, and the air crackled with an unsettling tension. Shadows danced on the periphery of his vision, and he could feel the eyes of unseen entities upon him. days turned into nights, and Kerry's physical and mental exhaustion deepened. The farm became a battleground between the living and the restless spirits seeking redemption. The symbols on the barn walls glowed ominously, reacting to the arcane forces Kerry had unleashed. One fateful evening, as the moon hung low in the sky, Kerry stood at the heart of the overgrown graveyard, chanting the final incantations. The ground beneath him trembled, and a cold wind swept through the air. The spirits, once tormented, now seemed to be in harmony with the newfound energy. Yet, just as Kerry believed he had succeeded, a malevolent force surged forth. The shadows coalesced into a ghastly figure, the spectral manifestation of Ezekiel, the source of the curse. Hollow eyes bore into Kerry's soul as the apparition spoke in a haunting voice, recounting the sins of the past. A chilling realization dawned on Kerry. The curse was not only a punishment for past deeds, but a malevolent force seeking to claim another soul. The ritual had only intensified the darkness that lingered in the farm soil. As the apparition advanced, Kerry felt an icy grip closing in. Desperation clawed at his chest, and he scrambled for a solution. In a moment of clarity, he remembered an ancient talisman his grandmother had hidden away, a family heirloom said to protect against malevolent spirits. Racing against time, Kerry retrieved the talisman and held it aloft. The air crackled with tension, and the apparition recoiled, shrieking in agony. The talisman's ancient power repelled the vengeful spirit, banishing it back to the shadows from whence it came. The once haunted farm now stood silent, the malevolent energy dispersed. Kerry, weary and drained, gazed upon the land with a mix of relief and sorrow. The curse had been broken, but the scars of the past remained etched into the farm's history.